Hi, I'm Nick, and in today's video I'm going to attempt to replace the load wheels on the Elliptigo 8C bike here. The load wheels are actually in the front of the Elliptigo here, right here, and there's 4 of them. As you can see from here, the 2 of them are already cracked, and on the left side 1 out of the 2 is cracked as well, so it's time to replace them. Here's some equipment I may use: some Allen wrenches, I think a 6mm and a 2.5mm, a small flathead screwdriver, these are the replacement load wheels, and maybe even a wrench. So let's go take a look at the new load wheels. Their diameter is approximately 13mm. Our diameter is approximately 39mm. Width is approximately 13mm. And looking really closely here, it looks like it says, I believe, 1616 RS. On the right side, we'll start with a 6mm, and to loosen it, you're going to go reverse direction of the wheels. So to tighten, you go counterclockwise, and to loosen, we'll go clockwise. And if this doesn't work, you're going to have to use, if you want to, the hammer to slightly tap at it to loosen it. And we can screw this all the way off, holding on to this end here to take off the drive arm, and slowly release this downward. For the opposite side, now that it's off, as the wheel goes this way, that's the way to loosen that drive arm. And go ahead and spin this loose all the way to loosen this drive arm. It looks like there'll be about 8 to 10 turns to completely get this drive arm off. And then this is where you're going to use the rags down here. Put a rag down. Lift this up. Oh, we have to loosen the 2 screws. I'm going to put this here and show you the 2 screws we have to loosen. In the back here, there are 2 2.5mm screws, 1 on each side, so the wheels can rotate and pop out of the bottom here. So coming in from the top this way, I can't loosen it, it's too tight. So the other videos may show you that they could just go right in and turn it, and right now there's not enough pressure, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I could put this in from under the side. And yes, I can. I could reach it from the side here and loosen it just a little bit from that direction. And now, since I loosened the tightest part, I could go ahead and undo the screws over here. Now that I removed both of the retention screws, go ahead and slide this. Doesn't look like it comes out, but the wheels come out here, so you can go ahead and hang that up here and take a look at the wheels. The close-up of the wheel here indicates that it is indeed time to change this load wheel, and there's a retention right here that needs to be removed. It may be hard to see, but there's a little notch here. It kind of spins when I try to get the screwdriver under it, and I believe you have to pick under it, and it keeps rotating as I try to get under a notch here. So I'm gonna have to work on this to try to see if I could wedge underneath and get that off, but it seems to be a little trouble right now. So other videos you see may make it look real easy to get this ringer notch off, but in my experience so far, it's not that easy to get this little ring off. I'm kind of prying underneath here, trying to get this piece up, but it's not budging so far. Now I got some pliers here. I'm going to try to hold this in place while I get this off, because it was rotating and the ring kept rotating as I tried to slide underneath the load wheel here, and this little piece doesn't want to come up and off. Oh, here we go. So I'm slowly getting it off. As you can see here, This part's actually real tricky. Let me see if I can keep my fingers out of the way so you can see that I'm sticking this underneath while holding on and going all the way around just to pull this off. And here we go. This ring right here has finally come off. Now we could just possibly just remove the broken load wheel and the other side, make sure there's nothing else in here we have to worry about falling out. And out of the 4 load wheels, this is the only one right here, this top one, that didn't crack. Unlike these that cracked, looks like all the way through on both sides. So definitely time, as I mentioned, to replace. All right, and to put the load wheels on, looks like on one side there's already a retention ring here, so I'm not going to mess with that one. Go ahead, put one on one side. I don't think there's a front or a back. It doesn't say anything about these red dots, which way is which. Slide it through the back side here, and then put another one on, and they look to be similar. Slide that on, and then with your new included ring, let's see if I could go ahead and put this one on. I'm not sure if there is a secret here, so I'm just gonna kind of, well, that's not what you do, is just try to put it on, because it'll push it right through, and I guess you have to hold the back side while you put this on. And because it's indented here, I don't think I could use an older load ring to go ahead and clamp it in. So I have a pliers maybe? I'm not sure if pliers will work either. All right, so I got a clamp here. I'm going to try to use this to clamp the wheels together. Maybe like this. I'm not sure if that gets the outside. Something like that. So when I push down, it wouldn't push the center part all the way through and out. Now I put this screw between here to see if I could put that on here. Oh. And slide it around. Doesn't appear that it's getting in there. And see if I can put it on this side and wedge it in. That's not happening as well. I slid the ring between the screwdriver here, and I'm gonna try to slide one end here and then use the other end with my other screwdriver here and see if I can push it around after I mount it on here. Oh, and that doesn't work as easily as well. I'll keep trying to kind of wedge this in here. Push it around. Oh, or it'll fall out. So I put one end on first and see if I could go around the circle, and oh, got close. To make sure this is all the way out. Try again. Got one edge over. I'm trying to go around in a circle to put the whole edge on. Oh, let's see if I can make it. Let's see, push this down. Almost. You need a bigger screwdriver. Whew. All right, that's one down. On the right side here, I have to do the same thing with these load wheels right here. The right side here should be a little easier. So what I did is I wedged it. See, so it's not moving as much. Let's see if I can get this underneath. And then go ahead and pull this one clip. Oh, that's both of them. I'm gonna hold here and try to get underneath with the little screwdriver. And then again, push around. Where did it go? I'm going to try to get underneath with the screwdriver. Oh, and it's still sliding around. Alright, I think I found the trick here. There's a little notch right here. And you want to push that notch outward. And while you're doing outward, slide the screwdriver, or this little screwdriver, push out and around and try to clip it on this. Once you get it underneath, then you got to slide the screwdriver out and around. Sorry if you can't see too much. And take this whole clip off. You can slide this out underneath and go around. Then your wheels come out. For the new load wheels, these bright, shiny, clean white ones, go ahead and slide them in. Slide the other one in. And it looks like this is in the way, so I have to put it lower. Find a spot where they could rest, and then you're going to go ahead and try to reinstall the ring. Again, I'm going to go ahead and use this quick clamp and clamp on the back side to about here to make sure when you push down it doesn't fall out. Make sure it's quite snug. And starting by putting the screwdriver like this, I'm going to go ahead and see if I could put that end on first, and then rotate it all the way around. I've also changed the angle of the clamp here so we could more easily gain access to here. I have it off. I'll show you that even the brand new load wheel, as you can see, the used ones here weren't even used that much. They're practically the same circumference. They're not even worn that much, and I think these I've only put like maybe less than 100 miles on them, but they did sit for years in this hot garage, and just the expansion of them probably weakened the wheels, and just by riding it once or twice outside it already cracked. So there's kind of an example of how fragile these wheels are, or how much they don't like the heat. Alright, so the trick to get this one on is I had to put this between the little slit here, clamp it on with my fingernail, and hold it as I went all the way around and kept spinning in circles, pushing down to get the final one until this came off the clip, and then push it in. Alright, to put them back together, go ahead and get the rags out of the way and put the load wheels up and out of the way so that you could go ahead and put the 2.5 millimeter screws that already have Loctite on them back in here, and then we're going to go ahead and screw the arms back onto the crankset. So now that you got both of the screws in here, 1 and 2, you could probably go ahead and clean the tracks. With my microfiber cloth, I'm going to get this arm out of the way and make sure that these tracks, which is the inside that the roller wheels are on, are nice and clean and smooth, and then go ahead and clean both sides of the track on the right side, and then make sure it's nice and smooth, and clean both sides of the track on the left side as well. After you clean the tracks, as you can see here how shiny and clean it is, so if you get it as clean as possible, then that'll help with these brand new roller wheels, because if it's already dirty and there's sand or grit in there, it may lead to premature wear. So both sides are like this, just nice and shiny and clean. I'm not sure what the manufacturer calls for, but I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize lubricant on these threads. I really don't want the arms getting seized into the crankset, so on both sides I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads here. this one and add a little bit on this thread before I screw them back in. To install these, you want to go the same direction as the wheel as they're going on. So this way will be clockwise. And I'm going to use the longest stride and go ahead and, if it's not going in properly, you may have to take it out and re-thread it, but it looks like this is going in properly, and go ahead and turn this several turns until it gets seated. And you can go ahead and make it a little snug, and after you do that, go ahead and wipe off the excess anti-seize right there. For the next side, same direction as if you were going forward. So depending on which direction you're looking at, it doesn't matter, because if you're going the same directions as forward as the wheels, which is this direction right here, then it should tighten the arm onto the crankset. And this goes the same thing for regular bicycles as well, especially for the pedals. There we go. Nice and tight, and then wipe off anti-seize. And if you're curious, the roller wheels by themselves are already 136 grams with the little rings, but the rings aren't even a gram together. Maybe they are. Oh, maybe a gram. Well, I did run into a bunch of trouble trying to install and uninstall the load wheels here. And also, as you notice, I'm wearing safety glasses because that spring is under tension as you're moving it around. It bounced off and hit me in the chest once, so be careful there. Overall, this whole project took me probably an hour because I'm not used to putting that retention ring on and taking it off, so I was inexperienced there, and it's, I'd say, a little more difficult than doing an oil change on a car, because that's a little more straightforward, and I've done a bunch of oil changes on cars. So next time, hopefully we'll go a little smoother, and if you're interested in more Elliptigo 8C type of videos, feel free to subscribe. Plan to make some more, including an in-depth review in the future, and I'm going to be getting some tow cages installed onto this as well. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, please subscribe if you want to. It's absolutely free, and have a most wonderful day. Thank you.